Mtalaki, KT News.
Kiranja wa upinzani katika bunge la taifa John Mbadi amekilaumu chama cha Jubilee kwa kutaka kuongoza kamati nyingi za bunge, akisema kuwa hilo litaathiri msimamo ama namna kukosoa serikali. Akizungumza katika majengo ya bunge, Mbadi alisema kuwa Jubilee na viongozi wengine ni wanafiki. Hii ndiyo taarifa yake aliyoitoa muda mfupi uliopita.
That is still on workings of parliament was regarding we have committees which are going to be chaired by the majority, almost all of them. I think all the departmental committees. But if you look at a system like America, there is, apart from the chairs of committees, there is what we call the ranking member of a committee. What in Kenya you would call a shadow chair of a committee. And I started the discussion, and I told him specifically that this time what I expect to be done differently is that we are going to have our ranking members for each and every committee. We are going to have what we would call shadow, the ranking members or shadow chairs for committees, who are going to give our alternative views concerning any policy that will come from the majority side, but also again generating policy issues and bills from our side. We will have minority caucuses, which would generate even legislation following our policy agenda and manifesto of NASA, so that we don't just wait for the other side because as it is now, we still don't know who is going to run the government. It has not been sorted out. So whichever side is going to run the government, the other side must also come up with its legislations, because both sides had their manifesto. And if those policies, legislations would be for the best interest of Kenyans, I've given my guarantee that we would support as minority any positive, progressive legislative proposal that will come from the majority side. Equally, I expect the majority side also to support progressive, pragmatic legislation that would come from our side. Finally, we of course went to the hot topic, the topic of the day, the topic around where Kenya is headed, the stalemate, the problems that we have. And to me, as member of NASA, of course, I was very candid with the ambassador that it is not possible to expect Kenyans to move on without serious, structured discussion and on specific issues that need to be addressed. And I've clearly spelled it out that expecting Parliament to perform when issue of executive has not been resolved is going to be very, very difficult. Because you will realize that the history of this country, the tradition, is that over 90% of issues that are discussed in Parliament, be they legislative proposals in terms of bills, be they motions or even sessional papers, they are generated from the executive. Therefore, if you don't sort out executive, it is going to affect significantly the functioning, the operations of Parliament, and we should not shy away from that. I have been very clear that a section, very large section of Kenyans feel angry, feel that the government that is purportedly in place is not their government, that they have not voted for it. As a matter of fact, we feel that that government was formed and constituted by about 30 to 40% of Kenyans maximum. In fact, our figures are even below that, are about around 20%. The figures that were given out is about 30%. But you give it even 35%. That about 60 to 65% of Kenyans feel that they have no say in what the government that is purportedly put in place makes that government not to have the mandate, the legitimacy to rule them. Therefore, there's a good number of Kenyans which is still expecting that we have a people's president to be sworn in. And the exercise has now been slated for 30th. And this should not be treated as idle talk. It is a serious matter. I am very candid to say that even this is beyond Raila Odinga. It's out of his hands. I would tell you, if Raila Odinga still insists that if Raila Odinga is not going to allow the exercise of swearing in to take place, he is likely to lose the support of many of his supporters. And many of his supporters are very angry. And I will tell you that anyone can run away with that support base, because Kenyans are very angry with the way things are moving. So Raila Odinga really does not have a choice on this. He has to be either sworn in on that day, or we are told concretely what are the reasons why he cannot assume the office of the presidency.
Perhaps on that note, in your discussion with the ambassador, as the opposition coalition, what did you present in the conditions?
As a minority coalition.
As the minority
yes.
coalition for dialogue, because that's what the envoy has been pushing.
Correct. The ambassador has also expressed himself very clearly to me that he has spoken about this matter, and I can agree with him that he has spoken about dialogue. But the problem he has is both sides have different versions of what the direction the dialogue needs to take. And I asked that apart from the issue of swearing in Raila and Kalonzo, which seems to be rattling many people, including some members of the international community, what is it that we have put on the table which they feel need not to be discussed? Because
Na mtazamaji, ni taarifa hiyo ya awali ya kiranja wa upinzani John Mbadi kuhusiana na umuhimu wa mazungumzo na vile vile kumshinikiza kinara wa NASA na